of work and effort into this project, as you can see, and it's really special for our club, and I think it's a really extraordinary day for all of us. So we hope you enjoy the ceremony, and with that, I'll just give Dr. Davis.
Thank you, Antonia. I'm here with you today to dedicate the Howl Board to Stockton Early College Academy. When I look at this place, I cannot help but marvel at our accomplishment. It started on March 8th with a couple of holes dug in the ground. Now, 48 days later, through commitment and hard work, this kiosk is ready to serve as an integral part of SECA's campus life. It's easy for me to point out the math and physics related to this project. I can tell you, for instance, that we transported 10,000 pounds of material to and from this site, and that the roof structure above my head is a 35, 55, 90 triangle, designed to overhang just the right amounts in front and back of the kiosk. I can tell you about grading the soil, using lasers and strings to ensure that everything's level and square. In order to give the seat back of these benches a 15 3/4 inch rise and a 6-inch run, we custom cut triangles with a 69.1 degree incline. A month later, when I finally put them in, long after I had forgotten the measurements, everything fit perfectly. This is because, as I tell my students, math works.
Yes.
And it keeps on working every time I check. But for all of its feats of engineering, it is the humanity that speaks to me the loudest. To me, this structure oozes spirit. There were no contracts made. Nobody got paid. This place exists because a group of people cared about their school and wanted to leave it a better place than how they found it. I also recognize that the work did not begin with the first shovel breaking ground. Physics explorers started planning and fundraising last school year to make this a reality. I am proud to say that in one short year we raised $2,000, and I'm even prouder to say that we are using the money to give back to SECA. But ideas amount to little without the buy-in of stakeholders who believe in what you're doing. For this reason, the Howl Board also represents a triumph of teamwork and networking. This leads me to the many people and entities whom I wish to thank. ASB and the Campus Beautification Fund for their generous donation and contribution to match our contribution. Mr. Tom and Brandon Sumner, who offered rocks and pavers to be purchased from the school's account. The class of 2019 for their contribution towards a plaque. My sidekick Layla, who helped me draw up the original blueprints. My Sanders, Mercury, Esteban, Ethan, Wesley, Brian, and Eric. My painters, Chua, Mai, Nikki, Harmon, and Ayushi. Andy for helping me frame the roof. My soil graders, Thomas, Hael, Dave, and Oscar. Jordan and his mom, my rock crushers. Tom Sumner for getting plywood and shingling the roof. It was like watching a master at work. My dad for bringing food and helping whenever needed. Mr. Pinkham for letting me borrow his truck. To Atsiri, Samira, Giselle, and Emily for helping prepare the barbecue, which we're about to enjoy. For Miss Beggs for printing the pictures of a beautiful transition. And to anyone else who stepped in and offered words of encouragement along the way. Whew, that was a lot of people to thank. Whenever I do a project, I always notice that the more people I have to thank, the better it turns out. I couldn't have done it without support. No one person can accomplish a goal on their own. But never let that discourage you, because one person is all it takes to inspire others. You can show others your vision and get them to care about the same things that you do. I saw that inspiration in the eyes of students who were working with their hands, learning, and doing something that they believed in. I learned a lot along the way as well, such as teaching myself how to make half-lap joints for the rafters, and watching the process of shingling the roof. I even learned some new parkour moves, trying to get the plywood pieces on the roof. And that is the true essence of leadership to me. Leaders get their team involved and are always willing to learn more. Being a leader isn't being the best, but bringing out the best in those around you. And when things don't go as expected, keep grinding away at the problem, or in this case, sand away. I'd like to introduce as our next speaker one of those leaders, President of the class of 2019, outgoing treasurer of Physics Explorers, Jennifer Moreno.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jennifer Moreno, and as Dr. Ayers said, I'm president of the class of 2019 and also the treasurer for Physics Explorers Club. Senior classes tend to have the desire to have a legacy on our campus, since leaving a prominent symbol will ensure we're not forgotten after we leave, which is in about 34 days, but honestly, who's counting at this point? What better way to leave a meaningful mark than by aiding the construction of a project that will not only benefit those building it, but the entire student body as well as generations to follow. After weeks of planning, designing, and constructing this kiosk, the day has finally arrived. This could not have been made possible with a strong sense of dedication, followed by continuous motivation instilled in every person who contributed to the construction of this project. I'd especially like to emphasize the important role Dr. Ayers had throughout the entire process. Without the endless hours he spent meticulously designing and constructing the kiosk, the project would not be complete to this day. The class of 2019, and I'm sure everyone else as well, greatly appreciates your unmatched efforts. This bulletin board adds dimension to our campus. It is a great sight to see, and I'm confident that it'll facilitate the spread of information throughout our campus and ultimately stimulate creativity to a greater extent. This kiosk is a symbol of diligence, driven by a passion to continuously improve our surroundings, both functionally and aesthetically. The class of 2019 leaves you with a useful tool available to you all and an even greater opportunity to emulate the strong efforts of Physics Explorers in order to further enhance our campus. At this time, Ruben Gonzalez, the upcoming president of Physics Explorers Club for the next school year, will present both Ms. Powell and Mr. Tom with keys to the Howl Board.
Thank you so much for coming. My name is Ruben. I am the upcoming president for Physics Explorers, and yeah, so it's with great pleasure that I get to give Ms. Powell and Mr. Tom the keys to the Howl Board. Woo!
Oh, you can stay up there. You can stay up there. All right. Where's Glossa? Glossa, come on. Oh, come on up.
Yeah. So, it is a great pleasure and honor to now introduce Oscar Avalos, who will be cutting the red ribbon.
That concludes the ceremony. Thank you, and enjoy the kiosk, and let's eat.